hope you all are doing well and are in good health. So I'm here today to give you a detailed review about my experience with Cordelia Cruises. So for those of you who do not know, I recently did a trip to Sri Lanka, and this was with Cordelia Cruises, and I've been getting a lot of DMs regarding my experience with the cruise, what I did in Sri Lanka, how the cruise works, how feasible it is for various age groups, for children, what can I do on the cruise, and so on. So I thought, let me create a video to address all your questions so that in case you are planning to do a trip with Cordelia, you may have some general information and some personal experiences from me that could help you plan your trip better. So that's the agenda for this video. And before we move on to my journey, I want to give you a quick gist about Cordelia. So the ship that you travel in is called the Empress. So the Empress was earlier part of the Royal Caribbean Fleet, and it was purchased by the Cordelia Cruises, which is an Indian company. So of course, Cordelia positioned themselves as one of the luxury cruise liners in India, and it definitely is, with the amenities and the experiences that you get from the minute you step into the ship. Coming to the ship size, it has a capacity of about 1800 to 1900 passengers with over 600 crew members. It consists of 11 decks, and there are a lot of other amenities which I will take you through. One thing that you need to know about Cordelia is that they have just one ship that goes around destinations, because a lot of people assume that they have multiple ships, but no, it's just one ship, which is the Empress, that goes to the destinations depending upon the tour months that they have. Now coming to the booking aspect of this cruise. So first thing what you can do is definitely go to their website, which is www.cordeliacruises.com, and you can browse through the upcoming cruise vacations that they have. Now I had gone for a Sri Lanka trip, which was starting from Chennai. It goes to Sri Lanka, it stops at 3 ports and then back to Chennai. It was a 6-day and a 5-night trip. But they have various vacation experiences ranging from 2 nights to 7 nights, and of course destinations also vary. So the international one is only to Sri Lanka, but if you want to do within India, you have that option as well. So they have cruises starting from Bombay, going to Goa, Kochi, Lakshadweep, and back in Bombay, starting from Kochi, ending in Goa, and so on. So you can go and check which one is it that you would like to do. In my opinion, if there's people who like to just explore the cruise aspect, you need not go for a longer trip. You can go for a shorter trip just to experience the cruise bit. And if you're someone who like to visit new places, explore new places, then a longer trip would be ideal, because then you get the benefit of the cruise and also to explore a new city or a country. Coming to the booking process. Now, I planned my trip very last minute, and I went for the plain old simple way of booking, which is going with the website. Now, you can also book through various other travel websites, whether it's Make My Trip or Yatra, and other websites. You can go via travel agent. I think a lot of people who go with bulk bookings go via travel agent, but I went through the website itself because I did not want to risk anything in the last minute. It was easier. So when you are already browsing through cruise vacations, you put in your mobile number, and then from then you keep getting a lot of agents calling you, inquiring about your plan about a cruise. So I was getting a lot of spam calls, but finally one such call, I took it seriously, and that's when I planned my trip, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. There was this agent that had called me, and I ensured that my booking happened with his help. So how the booking works is that your cost is determined based on, of course, the type of rooms that you choose. Now, you have various categories. The first bit is, of course, your standard rooms. Then you have an ocean view, you have a mini suite, and then you have a chairman suite. So these are your 4 categories, and for each of it, the cost varies. The lowest is a standard, and the highest is, of course, the chairman suite. So you can go through this in the website. The prices start around 37,000 onwards and goes up to over a lakh, and then you have your tax and GST and all of those things added as well. So I would suggest go through the website, check your cost, check your budget, and then book. Also from time to time, I think Cordelia runs many deals, like You pay for one person, but your companion sails for free. Children below the age of 12 sail for free. So there are a lot of such deals that keep happening. So you can go and check it out. So you can get a good deal for yourself. Now coming to selection of rooms. Now the first category of room, which is the lowest, has no view. It is a small room with beds. You have a small washroom, but you don't have any view. So if you're a person who plans on just going to the room to just sleep and rest of the time roam around the ship, you have of course different areas on the ship where you can get good view. You can definitely go for it. But what I've heard is those rooms tend to be very compact and you could feel claustrophobic as well. So not a lot of people prefer that, but it's up to you how you like it. Yeah, and coming to the next category, which is the ocean view. Now, that is something that I personally had chosen because I really prefer a view and I wanted, a window in my room. Ocean view was a really good room that I had. I think if you are one person or, you are two, it would be a really good room to have. Maybe, a family of three also could somehow adjust if you have a small kid. But if you are a larger family, I would suggest to try out the suites because the ocean view may be too small for you. The reason I'm saying this is that at the time of booking, if you're a family of four, you actually have the option of putting of having four people in a room. Now, if you're a big family, like, with big kids and four of you are in one room, what they give you is they provide you bunk beds. And all four together in any of these rooms can feel very congested. So, keep that in mind. So I'm going to show you the room that I stayed in. So this is an ocean view room and I was the only person. So it felt very, very comfortable for me. And take a look. So if you're a solo traveler or just a couple or family with a small baby, I think ocean view would be good. But if you're if you have larger, like bigger kids and you're a family of four or four adults, I would suggest maybe take two separate rooms of ocean view. It might be better for you as well. And of course the suites are much bigger. They have a balcony, so you have your mini suite that have a small balcony along with the room, and then you have your chairman suite that has a huge balcony. So those are more luxurious. But again, if you are again a person who wants to make the most of the ship, go around, attend all the activities and just use the room to just crash, I would suggest to use the standard or the ocean view one, because the bigger suites are always better if you plan on just chilling in your room. Then you can make the most of it. And of course, if you have a bigger family. So I'm sure a very important question must be running in all your heads. That is, what does my package contain? What are the inclusions and what are the exclusions? Is there a catch? So let me tell you, actually almost everything is included in your package. There are just few services that you would have to pay extra if you want to avail them. But almost all the experiences that you need for a good, seamless travel is covered by them. And that includes, of course, your stay, your meals. So you get meals 5 times a day. So your meals, you get fresh bottled water every day. You have room service, that is room cleaning service every day. You have basic amenities like your gym, swimming pool, jacuzzi. All of this you can use whenever you want. You have a lot of shows that are included as part of your package. So a lot of shows are there. Let me tell you what is not part of your package. I think one of the main things that is not part of your package is Wi-Fi. So yes, you will not have internet while you're on board. You can have it if you want to avail that facility. They have the option, but you have to pay for it, and it's very expensive. So Wi-Fi is something that is not part of your package. If you're someone who wants to drink while on board, alcohol is also separate, not part of your package. Along with that, a lot of other activities like the casino, salon, spa. They have some images, like, they have a photographer who can take your pictures. They have a rock climbing facility. So all of these are at a particular charge. So these are few activities that are extra. But otherwise, you have a lot of shows, a lot of activities which happen for free and are covered. You don't really need to go for an additional one. But if you want, that options are also there. So a few important things to remember is that when you're going on board, please carry the international charging point, because the charging point that is available on the ship is not the Indian plug point. It's the international one. So you will need an international socket so that you can plug in your phone chargers. So that's one thing to remember. Second thing is, you do not have a hand faucet in your washroom. So it is a Royal Caribbean ship, so you don't have your Indian hand faucet. So that's something you'll have to deal with for how many ever days you're going. Third thing is, any transaction that happens on board is happening in dollars. It's considered in a dollar value. So if you're taking something additional, you're paying for something additional, it all happens in dollars. So I would suggest to check the rate before going, because they would have a standard rate on board, and then that would be the exchange rate. So if you have dollars with you, you can carry it. If not, Indian currency also is used there. When you reach the Sri Lankan ports, in the port itself, you have the option of exchanging your Indian currency for Sri Lankan currency. So in case you're wondering, oh no, without currency, how am I going to commute if I'm going to go on my own and all, you don't have to worry. You will have that facility at all the 3 ports. So you can get your Sri Lankan currency as well. And those of you all who would want internet or want to connect with people, there is a facility at Hambantota port itself where you can purchase a local SIM that has unlimited data, and then you can make your calls and things like that. They charge you around 1,000 Sri Lankan rupees for that. You can also go to a local shop and get one. I think that's about 650 Sri Lankan rupees. So if you do the math, you do a divided by 3 to understand how much Indian rupees that would be. So you have all these options available there, so nothing to worry about. So another important thing that I wanted to let all of you all know is that seasickness can be a concern for some people. In my journey, there were a lot of people who were completely fine, did not feel a thing. At the same time, there were again a huge chunk of people who were really sick, who got seasick, who were throwing up and needed medical attention and things like that. So why I'm telling you this is that Bay of Bengal, so that's the route that we take, the Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean tend to have rough seas. So from time to time, the seas can get rough, and then you can feel those waves when you are in your rooms or walking around the ship, and it takes a while to get used to it. It's not it's not everyone's cup of tea to get used to something like that, especially for those who have motion sickness. So what I would suggest is that before you plan a trip, to always consult your doctor and understand how you can get used to this particular aspect. Why the reason I'm saying is because you have a lot of medicines and tablets that you can take before your travel so that you don't feel seasick, or during your travel if you feel seasick, what to do. But the cruise has a medical facility, a doctor, a nurse, they're all available. So in case any of your family members or you do need medical attention, you can always go to them. They will help you out. I myself had felt a little bit woozy. Thankfully, I was not seasick, but I was feeling nauseous on a particular day, and that day the sea was a little bit rough. So I had gone to the reception, and they'd given me a tablet which they asked me to take for the entire day and rest, and that really helped me. So I rested the entire day, and then the next day I was completely fine, and then I didn't have any problem. And if you're someone who is worried about seasickness or have like motion sickness, what I would suggest is to take a little bit of the middle decks and mid of the ship. That really helps, because the higher you go, you tend to feel a little bit more woozy, and the middle ones are always considered to be better because you don't feel it as much, the waves as much. But again, it's just depending upon how the seas are, and usually Bay of Bengal and Arabian and Indian Ocean tend to be a little rough. But again, as I said, there were majority who were completely okay, had no problems. So you don't have to worry too much about it. But in case you have that concern or worry, these are two tips that can really help. The middle decks and being in the middle of the ship can be helpful for you while you're planning your booking your rooms or planning your roaming around the ship and things like that. Is this cruise friendly for families, kids, solo travelers? And I would say yes, yes, yes to all of it. For every age group, this is a really good experience. Whether you're coming with your friends, with your family, with your toddler, with your infant, there are activities for all age groups, and everyone will enjoy this cruise. Actually, the time that I went, most of them were families, and I seen a lot of kids on board. So in case you're worried that okay, is it safe for kids, it's totally safe for kids. In fact, I feel they'll enjoy it a lot more because they'll have a lot of stories to tell when they go back to school. And even toddlers, there's a lot of toddlers roaming around, and parents are just chilling with toddlers, and it's a good time. You should definitely go for it. I had a very good experience, and it has been a beautiful journey. You can see some of the best sunsets, sunrises, being in the ocean. It's a different feeling altogether, and it's beautiful. It's a very beautiful experience, and if you ask me, is it worth it? I would say definitely, and you should definitely go for it. I think during the peak times of festivals, it tends to get crowded. So I've heard a lot of people not having a very good experience because of it being very crowded. But I think it's all, depends upon which month you go and things like that. But overall, it's a very beautiful experience. And I think you should definitely try it if you're someone who is very interested in, uh, if you're an ocean lover like me. So I have actually spoken quite a lot and given a very detailed video. So I'm going to stop now. If you still have any questions about the entire cruise, please comment below and I'll get back to you. And look, watch out for my next few videos where I'll be talking about what all I did in Sri Lanka so that you'll get a better clarity and maybe you can follow my itinerary. So thank you guys, and that was reality for you.